Operating systems must continuously distribute finite resources, such as memory, processing time, and I/O devices, among multiple processes running simultaneously. In a naive allocation system, the OS grants these resource requests immediately, provided the hardware is currently idle in the available pool. This creates the risk of a cyclical wait, a state where Process A holds a resource required by Process B, while Process B holds a resource required by Process A. Execution stops entirely. Because resolving a hardware deadlock often requires terminating processes and losing unsaved data, mathematical avoidance provides a way to prevent these states from occurring in the first place. The banker's algorithm is a strategy for deadlock avoidance, designed to test system safety before resources are committed. Instead of granting resources the moment they are requested, the algorithm intercepts the request and runs a theoretical simulation of what the system state would look like if the allocation were approved. It specifically looks for a safe state. A state is safe if the OS can identify a sequence where every process can acquire its remaining resources, finish its task, and release its holdings without triggering a freeze. If the simulation yields a valid safe sequence, the grant is approved. If the resulting state is unsafe, the request is denied or delayed to preserve system integrity. To model this environment, we represent the system state using 4 data structures. Using the parameters from the Galvin textbook, we look at a system with 5 processes, P0 through P4, and 3 resource types, A, B, and C. We track unassigned inventory with the available vector. In this case, there are 3 units of resource A, 3 of B, and 2 of C currently idle in the system. The max matrix records the absolute highest number of each resource type a process might demand during its execution. The allocation matrix tracks the specific resources currently held by each process at the moment of the request. These matrices provide the algorithm with a snapshot of the system's inventory and the theoretical limits of every active process. Before running the safety check, the algorithm must determine how many additional resources each process might still require to finish. We calculate this using the formula need equals max minus allocation. For process 0, we take its maximum demand of 753 and subtract its current allocation of 010. This reveals a remaining need of 7, 4, and 3. Performing this subtraction for every process completes the need matrix, giving the OS a map of all potential future resource requirements. This matrix identifies the exact threshold of resources the system must be able to provide to guarantee that any individual process can reach completion. When a process requests a resource, the OS performs 2 boundary checks before it ever attempts to simulate system safety. First, the request must be less than or equal to the process's declared need. It cannot request more than the maximum limit stated at creation. Second, the request must be less than or equal to the available pool. The system cannot allocate resources that aren't physically present. If conditions are met, the OS performs a pretend allocation, deducting the request from the available pool, adding it to allocation, and reducing remaining need. This is purely a state simulation. No hardware is actually locked yet. The algorithm is simply preparing to test if this hypothetical configuration is safe. We initialize the safety algorithm with 2 temporary simulation trackers, a work vector, currently set to 332, and a finish array, where all processes are initially marked false. We test process 0. Its need of 743 is greater than our work pool of 332. In this simulation, process 0 cannot proceed, so its finish state remains false. We move to process 1. Its need of 122 is within the limits of our work pool. This process is capable of finishing. We simulate its completion. When the process finishes, it releases its held allocation of 200 back into the work pool, increasing our simulation's available resources to 532. Process 1 is now marked true. This is the core logic of the algorithm. As each process completes in the simulation, its resources return to the work pool, increasing the total available for the remaining processes in the queue. Process 2 requires 6 units of A, exceeding our work pool. We skip it. Process 3's need of 011 is satisfied. It finishes and adds its allocation of 211 to the pool, bringing work to 743. Process 4 also passes. It releases its resources, and the work pool grows to 7, 4, and 5.
Now we loop back to the processes we skipped. With 745 now in the work pool, process 0 can finally satisfy its needs. It completes, and work increases to 755. Finally, process 2's demand for 6 units of A can be met. It terminates, and the simulation ends with all resources reclaimed. Because every process in the finish array was successfully marked true, we have mathematically proven the existence of a safe sequence. The algorithm has produced a valid timeline: P1, P3, P4, P0, P2. This confirms the system is in a safe state. With safety confirmed, the OS discards the simulation and officially grants the resource request, allowing the hardware to proceed with execution. Conversely, an unsafe state occurs when the simulation loop finishes, but the work pool is never large enough to satisfy the remaining processes. They remain stuck at false. If the simulation reveals an unsafe state, the OS immediately reverts the pretend matrix updates and denies the request, forcing the process to wait. While an unsafe state doesn't mean a deadlock is happening right now, it means the OS can no longer guarantee that a deadlock won't happen, and the algorithm is designed to avoid that risk entirely. Despite its logical consistency, the banker's algorithm is limited by several rigid assumptions. First, it requires processes to state their absolute maximum resource needs in advance, a prediction that is often difficult for complex, modern software to make. Second, the algorithm assumes a fixed pool of resources. It cannot easily account for hardware that is hot-swapped or systems where resources might suddenly fail. Finally, the computational cost of running these matrix simulations for thousands of processes is often too high for general-purpose, real-time operating systems. While impractical for most dynamic consumer systems, the banker's algorithm serves as the foundational model for concurrent state safety, demonstrating that deadlock avoidance can be achieved through preemptive mathematical simulation.